the next stage is to put the cover onto the armrest frame that you've already foamed up. To do that, we need the armrest cover from the kit, your frame, some 528 that I've put a spot into the pot, spreader, scissors, pencil for straight edge, and then what I've done, I've cut a piece of plastic from the bag that the kit came in. It's about 6 inches by 7 by 10 inches. 6 inches by 10 inches. So what's that? 15 centimeters by 25 centimeters. Now the reason we do that, if you remember, we talked about scrim foam being slippy, having a slippy face to allow the foam, the cover to move over the foam. Now this foam hasn't got any scrim on it, consequently the cover will grip to it. So what we do, just at the front, we're going to put that piece of plastic over there, and that will act as a smooth lubrication for it. We don't need anything bigger than that, just something to cover just over half the armrest with bits over the sides so it doesn't go anywhere. It won't. People ask, oh, does it rustle when it's all fitted? Nah, it doesn't. You'll be fine. So to turn the cover the right way through, you put your hand inside it, push one corner through, push the other corner through, and then roll the cover like that. That's how you do it. Saves any stress on the seams. Talking of seams, this is where it gets important. These seam edges, it's important where they sit. On this armrest, you want them sitting along the sides. You don't want them sitting on the top like that, where it's flat. You want them sitting or waving about like that. That's even worse. That's how you get wavy piping. You want them sitting straight up along the sides of the frame, and then at the front you're going to have them again running along the sides. Get rid of any bits of fluff, anything. We don't want anything in between the cover and the foam, any foreign objects. So we've got the cover there. What we're going to do, put your piece of plastic in there like that, put your frame on top, get it centered in between the two seams, then we're going to slide it all the way until it can slide no more. We're getting it right into the corner. This is where you need to really stretch the cover. This is one of the things about trimming, is that a tight cover that compresses the foam is a smart, smooth cover. So what I'm doing here is feeling where the seam is. Yep, it's all lying correctly there. It's all lying there. I feel like it needs to move a little bit sideways. I'm pushing that really firmly forwards. Can you hear that in my voice? Got the glue. Right. Get a good amount of glue on there. On the frame. Good amount on the flap at the back. pull it tight, fold it over. This is where you find out how good your glue is. If you've used cheap glue, you're going to be stood here for ages waiting for it to set. Feel the 528 beginning to grip. Yeah. It's just got a bit of creep. It's just creeping a little bit as I let go. Don't know if you can see that. It's creeping backwards. You don't want that to happen. So it's just creeping backwards. So keep pulling it forward, rubbing it down. Oh, pushing the bench away. There we go. That's holding it now. Good. That's looking okay for now. So now we do the front. We tend to work in opposites. So we did the back, so now we do the front. I'm going to do the same again. I'm going to get some glue. Whoop, 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 whoop. Get that on the front face where we're going to stick it. Here we go. Now you might need to, or you'll feel where the pegs are when you're doing these flaps. So when you do that, you go in there, put it on, make a feel where the peg is, and then just snip it with some scissors or your knife. Right. Again, I'm putting all of my weight down. I'm going to squash the foam so it goes all the way flat like that. All the way flat. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Down it goes. Pulling the cover up. You can hear it move. Right. I'm pinching that at the front. Pinching that at the front there. Good grip. Right. Don't worry if you get glue on the cover. Contact adhesive is good stuff. Now, I can feel that the seam is not sitting down the sides, it's sitting on top. I don't want that. I'm going to take that back out. Open that up. Yeah, there you can see. See, the seams aren't on the sides. So I'm going to stick my finger in, wiggle it down so that they go down the sides. There we go. That looks better. That looks better already. Finger down the sides. Take that down there. There we go. There. That's the seam there. I can feel the seam running down there. Don't worry too much about the sides now. We're getting this tension here. Squashing it down, folding it over, and waiting until the glue sets. seam moved? Has that seam moved? It looks like it's moved again. So good. You don't need to rush. You don't need to rush. You need to get it right. Here we go. Getting that seam in the right place. Top up the glue. Here we go. Top up the glue. That's running down the side. That's running down the side. That's all good. I've got glue on my fingers. Glue on the cover. Remember, push down, pull up. Got to cover these running down the side. That's working much better. Oh, that's it. That's looking better. That's looking better. That's looking better. Good, good. Holding that until I can feel it gripping. Ooh. I can feel that gripping now. It's not peeling back. That's good. That's good. Right. So, is it central? So, that's gripping at least enough for me to turn it over and have a look. Move that out of the way. I'm getting glue everywhere. It doesn't matter. Let's have a look. Does it look fairly straight? We might need to pull it over this way a little bit, but that can be done when we're tensioning these side panels. I don't think we need to take it all the way off. At the ends it's nice and central, and at the front it's nice and central, so we're going to have a good finish. So leave that for a couple of minutes, a few minutes, let that just get some strength in it. Little interesting fact, the adhesive in solvent adhesive, contact adhesive, is solid, so that's why you need to shake it up, because it all tends to sink down to the bottom when you're not using it. So give it a good jiggle. Whoop. Whoop. Put the lid back on and we're good to go. Oh, look at that. I'm a nice clean top. I'm a messy worker. Right, I've got glue all over my hands now. I'm going to have to just go and have a quick wash because I don't want it on my skin for too long. See you in a minute. Next step is to fix these two front flaps. I'm going to use the same method, pressing it down, compressing the foam and gluing the flaps in place. Now, when we looked, I felt that the cover was slightly more that side than this side. So when I fix the flaps, I'm going to perhaps compress this side a little more, just to pull the cover into the middle. And that's how you do things for trimming. So when I do it, I'm going to do this one first. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to get some glue, smear it along there, put it on the flap, and then move that out of the way, compress the foam, pull the cover over, trap it with my fingers, hold it in place. That's it. I could just feel the seam there was sitting wrongly, so I've just nudged it over. This strong grip, this is what you need as a trimmer. If you don't have that, then perhaps get some help. Some customers have used bulldog clips and things like that to hold it in place. But trimmers, they tend to get carpal tunnel syndrome from doing a lot of this grip work over the years. Oh, that's gone on nicely. That's good. So now we're going to do this side. Get that nice and straight. Get some glue on the metal. Glue on the cover. And we're using more glue on the cover than we did on the foam because we don't mind it sinking in a little bit. Don't want it sopping wet because then it takes ages to grip and dry. But here we go. What's the method? Push down, compress the foam, pull the cover tight, trap it with your fingers. There we go. See, that's looking nice and even now. We've brought the cover over to where we want it to sit. Just make sure that that's still tight. It's taking a bit longer this time. Do you know what? I'm going to have a look at, in a future video, I'm going to have a look at what paints work best with glue, because this seems to be coming off quite readily. There you go. That's looking good. That's looking really quite smart. That's holding now, it's not creeping back. There you go. I'm looking to see if there's a wet line in there where the cover meets the frame. If you see that creeping backwards, then it's not quite gripping enough and you need to hold it some more. That's holding okay. Okay. And as I'm looking at that, that's nice and central now. See how we've pulled this side over That's where it was. That's where it is now. By pulling this side first, we've got it to lie centrally. Wonderful. So now let's move on to this one at the back. Let's just check that we've got the seam flaps running down the correct side. So we want them running down the sides here so that it looks smart. Here you go. This is what's going to happen. Watch this here. Watch it. See how it moves. That's what we're going to do. We're going to do it so that it's all nice and straight. Oh. Put the glue all the way along there. Then we're going to glue on cover. There we go. Scrape, 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 scrape. I'm going to wait just a little bit. Let that dry off a bit. Yeah, that's getting tacky already. The benefits of 528 is that you've got less solvent to evaporate, so it works quicker. So squash that down. Oh no, let's do it this way around. And do this end of the. There we go. Turning it over. Oh, look at that. Look at that. That's gripped quite quickly. But let's just make sure. The longer flap, it's got more surface area, so it's gripping a lot quicker. In this situation, that's good. Another way to get the cover to move is use your thumbs, roll it over like that, and then squash that over with your fingers. It's another way of moving it along. I might have pulled it a bit too tight there. That's good. Right. Do the final flap. Here we go. Smear it along there. Bum, bum, bum. Now for the metal work. Bum, 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 bum. Oh. Dry just a bit. Right, let's have a look. Yep, see we've got the kink there. That's going to go when we pull it tight. There, like that. that little kink there. Can we see it? Oh, pull it tight. There you go. It's going to be nice and straight. That's tacking up now. So, now we've still got a bit of a kink there, so that's just a small thing. I'm just going to, so is that too tight? I think this part here needs turning up. There, that would be better. Yeah, so I'm going to use that rucking technique. You make a ruck like that, you make a ruck and you drag it towards the corner. That's an exaggeration, but that's what I've been doing. Let's do a little bit there. I just need to. This is the thing about trim. It's all about finessing it, getting it just right. These aren't located on pegs. They're not in threads. They're floating on a piece of foam, and depending on the tension that you put on, it's either going to go that way or that way. What you want to do is to get the tension even all the way along, so that it runs nice and straight from front to back. And that's what you're doing by changing the amount of compression in the foam, curling it over like that. I've only moved it a couple of millimeters. Look, it just gives that bit of finesse. That's why I'm doing these videos, because you can't get all that on a piece of paper. You can't say and tweak this and tweak that, because you'd have to write a book. All good fun. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave that now, let that set up a little bit because I'm happy with it. Then I'm going to come back and I'm going to glue the rest of these flaps, because some parts of the flap are still flappy. I'm going to trim all this off before I do the front face. Okay, so not quite time for a cup of tea yet, but getting close. So it's been 5 minutes since I did the gluing. I'm just going to finish off these flaps. I didn't want to disturb these flaps whilst I'd got the tension all right, but let's finish these flaps off, get them all glued into position, so because the more surface area that you've got glued up, then the more likely it is to stay in place over the years. There you go, glue that. Oh God, if you don't like glue, don't be a trimmer. Just cut that along there, cut that along there. Now, vinyl doesn't like sticking on top of vinyl, it likes sticking to metal. So we're just going to, down here at the back there's not much tension on it, so we should be okay. And like I say, the main tension in this armrest is front to back anyway. it's front to back. That's what's really pulling it tight. These side pieces just adjust it. Right, there we go. Put some more glue on. That flap's all done, that flap's done. This flap at the front, leave it like that for now, because we're going to have to come back and do some trimming when we do the armrest, the handbrake hole. So yeah, I'm happy with that. Oh, tails. These tails, don't cut them off. We've been doing all the trimming up. When you fit it into the car, let's move those out of the way. When you fit it into the car, these get tucked underneath like that, so that you get a nice neat finish. So, and then the same happens at the front. It's that the tails get folded underneath, bump bump like that, and you get a nice finish down in between the seats, as you're going to be looking at it down like that. So leave those on, because if you start cutting those, then there's a chance that the thread can start coming undone, and you don't want that. I hope you found this video useful so far. If you have, give me a thumbs up down below. You'll be helping other people to find this video, so it's really important. A link for the next section of the video will be coming up soon, and right now I'm off for a cup of tea, so I'll see you very soon.